Hello, I'm Matt York, Global CRO at Foundry. Welcome to another edition of CMO Perspectives, joined by Domenici, Chief Marketing Officer at GoTo. Jamie, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. One thing we always ask everybody is just to give us the elevator pitch for the company, please.
So I work at GoTo, and at GoTo, we're the only company that helps small businesses really focus on both communicating and supporting their customers and employees.
And the focus is definitely on small business?
You know, I think small businesses or growing businesses, but companies who are smaller in scale and working on building their way up.
GoTo has gone through a tremendous transformation. Originally logged me in to now GoTo. How has that changed the way that customers or potential customers should perceive the company? And then how are you building on awareness for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really interesting 12 months. And I would say at the end of the 12 months, GoTo looks like a completely different company. And that was intentional, not because the previous company of LogMeIn was wrong, but because our business had changed, our go-to-market had changed. We kind of outgrew our name and our positioning and who we are. So I would say now customers are looking at us in a whole different way. I mean, one thing I think they know for sure is we're investing in GoTo and we're simplifying who we are. It was hard to understand. We had 13 brands, 16 websites,
Right.
18 products. I mean, I know I'm not the only one out there who's walked into complexity, but as we had grown, we have brought so many different products into our company and hadn't really consolidated them. So the intention with the rebrand is to show that we're one company. We have two product offerings, and really make it simple for our customers to understand and leverage our company. So far, so good. We should be easier to do business with, and you can show that we're invested in who we are and what we do.
Yeah, we ourselves have actually just gone through a massive rebrand. We were formerly known as RDG Communications for almost 60 years, and we've rebranded as Foundry. Primarily for the same reasons you just mentioned, and also because we just felt the RDG Communications name we'd outgrown, because that was very much purely rooted in publishing, and now we're much more a company at that intersection of media and MarTech. But I think these are very brave things when you go through a rebrand. Were you brought on specifically to lead that charge, or is this something that once you got in, you felt that this is an initiative that you needed to take on?
So that's a great question. I was brought in by our CEO and our board, and in the interview process, they were asking me my opinion. And I said, I find it really hard, and I think marketing can help you. It's hard to understand who you are, what you sell, your value prop. So I was brought on to bring change and clarity, but the rebrand was something I had to sell. I wasn't having anybody who was waking up, signing a big check and feeling really, really confident that changing our name was going to be simple and an answer that was easy to absorb. Right? It was a lot of risk. So I had, in my first month, had to put together a whole business case, a value prop. I pitched it to the board because it just made sense. It wasn't a great name, an easier name. It was much more than just a name change, which I'm sure for you, as you just explained, is also the same. It was a rebrand at all levels. Like, here's a new name, here's a new visual identity, here's a new product portfolio. And behind all that, here's a digital transformation, which will drive efficiency and spend for you down the road. That part really resonated, you can imagine, with my board.
As you went through this process and continue to go through this process, is there anything that you wish you had done differently, or any unexpected outcome that you can share with us?
No, it was all perfect.
Well, of course. Yeah.
No, nailed it. I think that an unexpected outcome, or something I wish I did differently, is two things. One is, because this was a company transformation. I mean, everything from the sign on the building to the legal contract to the way that our sales teams talk about our product. I think the next time, if I ever do this crazy thing again, I really would invest more in a comms strategy. We had one, but I think just how you bring the company along on the journey, it takes a lot of effort, and you need to be really thoughtful about it. And I would say the second thing is enablement. And, in the world of enablement, especially with sales, you got to say it once, you got to say it twice, you got to say it again. So here I am 6 months after the rebrand, and we're going to roll out another phase of enablement with our sales, which is a stand and deliver. And I don't one tip from me. I believe the whole company needs to be certified on your value prop, not just your sales team. So we're going through that exercise again. So areas I would put even don't lose focus on. Right? I would really prioritize.
Frankly, any kind of corporate communication, but especially with the type of project you're going through, it's not unlike a political campaign. You have to say it. You have to say it. You have to say it. You have to find a grassroots activist who will say it and say it and say it, and you just have to keep hammering on sort of 3 or 4 very clear, concise messages, and eventually it sinks in, and others start to pick up on that. And I hesitate to say it's a little bit like a virus, but people start to pick up on that, and everybody then is suddenly talking that language, and then that enthusiasm and excitement builds. So something you mentioned there is customer experience. I think that's becoming more and more a pivotal element or pivotal part of a CMO's role. You now own the end-to-end lifecycle engagement, whether it's online, offline, whatever it may be, whether it's an event or whatever. It now sits with the CMO. Can you talk a little bit about how your past experience in customer success, et cetera, has brought you that kind of viewpoint?
Yeah, I'm so glad you already know my background, because I was going to say...
I did do my research.
Because at Salesforce, I was there for 10 years and I spent 7, in marketing, but I spent the last 3 in customer success. And some people are like, why did you do that? It's kind of a weird change. But actually, it was to really understand the full customer experience. When I worked in customer success, I understood the customers. I owned the journey of onboarding, right, and adoption, and realized that those first 30 days matter so much to a customer's experience, even more than the email that we send, or sometimes the webinar, how you bring the customer in. It's how they get to know and interact with your customer in some of those more difficult times, installing software, building out customizations. And that's where you can help build up this relationship. And it just gave me the appreciation of understanding that the entire customer lifecycle, if you think about it holistically, you can really build a much deeper connection with your customer, which keeps them, buying and staying with your company over the long term, which in a SaaS market is king.
Yeah. How do you and GoTo define quality intent? And then how are you using that, or are you using that today within your marketing cadences?
So in the context of both the rebrand and day-to-day marketing, I think we have 2 levels of intent. So with the rollout, rollout of the rebrand, we're really focusing on being quantitative about this. Nobody likes a fuzzy, airy-fairy, old school marketing, it's just working. That doesn't work here. So we are measuring actually intent at the highest level at a monthly rate. And then looking at those indicators from our customers, with a numeric number, but also qualitatively, to understand what is working and what isn't. And then bringing that back into our messaging, our roadmap, et cetera. But we're also looking at first party intent and really focusing on how we leverage that information to deliver the right message to the right customer at the right time. So this notion of personalization and how are we bringing that into every interaction across the customer life cycle is really an important part of our digital strategy.
I congratulate you in your bravery and wish you nothing but luck as this journey continues to evolve.
Well, thank you. And let me tell you, it was scary moments along the way, but you know where you're going, eye on the prize, and it's been absolutely so rewarding. And I'm really excited where we are and excited where we're going next.
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Cheers.
Okay, thank you. Bye.